Hi everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, alam ko na inaabangan nyo din tong topic na i-share ko and I'm also excited to share it with you guys. Ang tagal ko ring gusto nang i-share to. It's because a lot of people have been asking me if pwede ko silang bigyan ng idea of the student pathway visa, kung ano yung mga ginawa ko, kung paano mag-apply. And this is it. So finally, we're going to tackle about the student pathway visa, its eligibility, documents needed, and the step-by-step process from the start to finish. All of it are straight from the Immigration New Zealand's current guidance, since I also checked the New Zealand immigration website. And also, may mix din siya ng personal experience ko. I hope you can finish it from now that I'm talking until the end kasi may mga experience ako na pwede ko rin i-share sa inyo. At least you will get to have an idea. Let's go. First, sino nga bang pwede mag-apply ng student pathway visa? And there are four things na kailangan natin to apply. First would be offer a place. Offer a place is simply a document from an education provider na accredited ni New Zealand. It means that you're enrolled. What's inside the offer of place document? You will see there yung course mo or program mo, and then how long would it be, and then ano yung pag-aaralan mo. Ayun nga, course or program. It's just the same. And then you will get to have the offer of place once you already enrolled in the school. So yun yung proof. Next is New Zealand will also be needing your real reason to study. And the immigration would be able to check if you're really planning to study by, aside from the offer of place, probably depende rin sa course na pipiliin mo. What do I mean? Mag-aaral ka because you really wanted to study, and how you can show it to them na hindi mo naman kailangan talaga sabihin na sa immigration na mag-aaral ako. They will also be particular din sa, if you will be just be taking master's degree, you have to choose a course that's related to your bachelor's degree. So, in short, they will be checking kung ano yung course na pinili mo, if it's related to your previous bachelor's degree. Or, if there's an instance na hindi mo naman na-practice yung tinapos mong bachelor's degree, but then, you were able to have relevant working experience to another field of work. So that would be also another way to choose your course, kung ano yung mas na-expose ka as your working experience. I hope that making sense. And then another way that the immigration will be checking if you will be studying as well is that if you have sufficient fund to support yourself. You have the tuition, the living cost expenses, and airfare. So that would be summarized to show money. And your show money should be reflected in your bank statement. And kung magkano yung show money, particularly the living cost for a solo student, I have my previous video on that. You can check that. And then lastly, they're particular to health and character, and it will be shown because you will be submitting medical checkup results and police clearance if it's required. But for us Filipinos, it's required. And I will elaborate it even more. And I would also like to to answer as well who can apply. Those people that would satisfy the following needed things. And wala namang age limit sa New Zealand when you're going to study. As long as you are capable to study, you can study. I mean, while I'm speaking up to this date. Kasi baka mamaya magbago eh. Mamaya marinig mo to later in the future. But basically, wala namang age limit. Kasi may mga classmates nga ako, 48 years old, 50, diba? And alam ko naman na, let's say, isipin na rin na you really wanted to be a citizen sa New Zealand. And as we speak, at age 55, they are granting citizenship until age 55. So, if gusto nyong i-goal yun in the future. And then, we're going to talk about the documents needed. These are the core document checklist. And there are other documents needed too, pero ito yung core, major. Let's start with the first one, the valid passport. Of course, you have to make sure that your passport is valid. I mean, 3 months beyond your intended stay. So don't just have to make sure that it will not expire anytime soon. And then second, evidence of funds for tuition, living costs, and airfare. Airfare, it means when you go there. Kasi assuming na sa show money mo, yung hindi ka pa bumibili ng ticket, but it should be there. And I have a video about the show money thing that you can watch in the previous video. Next is for Filipino applicants, just have to prepare NBI and police clearance certificate. I did both. And then fourth one, you can choose what English test you can take, such as PTE or IELTS. PTE stands for Pearson Test of English, whichever is required, and you have to meet the score needed. Kaya whichever is required, kasi may ibang mga schools na mas okay sa kanila mag-IELTS, may iba gusto naman ng PTE. And then, this one, next is offer a place from your education provider. Again, you will get offer a place once you are enrolled in your chosen school. And next, medical result done by an accredited New Zealand clinic. This one, it really depends where you are located. Kasi may kaibigan ako na nasa, let's say, sa Baguio, I think. Pumunta pa sila ng Manila eh. Or kung ano mong malapit sa kanila. But basically, for sure, if you will be hiring an education agency, they will guide you on that. But for myself, since I'm living in Metro Manila, I had nationwide health systems, AUX Inc. So this is the accredited New Zealand clinic na pinuntahan ko. And take note, I'll take note na yung result nito is they will automatically send it to New Zealand Immigration. And if hihingi ka man ng result mo, they will send it first before you'll get the result. Ganon siya. And the next is passport style photo, meeting yung Immigration New Zealand specification. Just to make it simple, pagka photo op kayo for your passport photo sa New Zealand, for New Zealand, I stand corrected, just tell the photographer that it will be for New Zealand passport. And then lastly, of course, whatever needed for your family or dependents if they will be joining with you. These are the major documents needed, but there are also other documents needed pa. And I'll do my best to create intensive requirements. But actually kasi, depende kasi talaga rin sa mga education agency na pipiliin nyo if ano yung mga requirements na hihingiin nila sa inyo. But these are the major, ito yung common nilang lahat. Okay, let's go now to the step-by-step timeline. So these are the process. Assuming na ikaw yung gagawa ng application. But for myself, since I hired an education agency, included na rin yung immigration advisor na nag-asikaso ng application ko. But for now, let's just go with the step-by-step timeline if you will do it DIY or do it yourself. First is apply online. You just have to submit your application online in the Immigration New Zealand, and you also have to pay the visa fee through Immigration Online. And with the payment, they are requiring you to use your credit card. And then next is upload all your supporting evidences like offer a place, funds, that would be bank statements and bank certificates. And the medical results, ang gagawa na nito is actually yung accredited New Zealand clinic na, but they will just be giving you like, I think reference, if I'm not mistaken, reference number na you have to put in the form and the other requirements needed. Third would be photo and fingerprints. Actually, it really depends on the country, but let's just emphasize it for Filipino applicants. Hindi ko naman na kailangan pumunta sa New Zealand Immigration. And not unless it requests, but for myself, I didn't. And for other countries like Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, ayan. So they have different rules in terms of that. And we'll just go, we'll just have an overview on that later. Sinama ko lang dyan. And then fourth would be the early approval. This one, it really varies with different kinds of agencies. Pero ito yung the usual process din nung iba. Kasi um, there is they what they so called approval in principle that they letting you pay your tuition and lock in your place. So it means na pwede mo nang bayaran agad yung tuition mo, pwede ka nang mag-enroll kahit na hindi ka pa na-approve for your student visa para makuha mo na yung offer of place mo. I hope na-gets niyo yun. Again, ibig sabihin nun, hindi naman necessarily na kailangan ma-approve ka muna para na student visa para enroll ka. It only means na um, they will they will be giving you na the signal na 'pag nasubmit mo na yung show money mo, the tuition, yun nga, lahat. 'Pag nag-submit ka na ng mga requirements mo, they will be giving you the signal na yung tinatawag nilang approval in principle na puwede ka ng magbayad ng tuition mo. So, that's it. Kaya ko sinabing iba-iba yung agents dito kasi may ibang mga let's say ako yung Right Education where I avail the I mean where I hire them to be my education agency or agent. Ang process naman nila kasi is you have to pay your tuition muna nang hindi pa namin sinasubmit lahat para lang makuha na namin yung offer of place. May iba naman kasi mga agents, submit na lahat and then in the middle ng process, merong signal si Immigration New Zealand na bayaran yung ano, na sabihin, "O sige na bayaran mo na yung tuition mo." So iba-iba talaga sila. So it really depends. And of course, the final decision, electronically, it will be given. Just have to wait in your email. And next, ito na yung kanina na may photos and fingerprints. It's called biometrics kung does it apply to you. And let's focus with, of course, since we're Filipinos, for Philippines, it's not automatic. Not unless pinatawag ka. Pero in most cases, if you're going to hire an immigration advisor, wala naman. Parang hindi naman siya needed. And just go over with this other countries. And then if your country is not here, just have to check the immigration New Zealand if what's your process. And on the other side, this is the photo requirements. Just have to take note that it's taken within the last 6 months. And yeah, plain and neutral background lang. Actually, alam naman na to ng mga photographer. So just have to say that it will be submitted for New Zealand application. And next, this one is what I did. If you hire an immigration advisor, um, first you're going to submit your documents to the immigration. To you, the advisor. They will be giving you checklist as well. And basically, yung core document checklist, yun din yung mga isasubmit mo. And then, kung And then next na, they will be the ones doing the application and upload for you. So wala ka nang problemahin. And for the biometrics, since we're Filipinos, we're not called to do this one. Not unless requested, but hindi. And then next, this one is yung AIP, yung early approval in principle. This step still happens na yun nga, ino-notify ka ni immigration na bayaran mo na yung tuition mo. Pero really different. Ayun nga, sinabi ko kanina na it really varies kung anong agency yung pipiliin mo. Iba-iba sila dyan. And then lastly, the decision will be sent in their email, immigration advisor's email. And then he or she will forward it to you. I hope I'm making it clear. If may tanong kayo, comment below. Next. Ito, tanong ng mga tao to. Ano bang working rights ng student visa? During your term, you have 20 working hours. 20 working hours. Or actually, I stand corrected na it's 25. I think binago naman na nila 'to this year. Di ko napansin, ba't 20 nalagay ko? That's 25 working hours. But if bakasyon mo na or during, sem breaks, term break, they call it, basta holiday, you can work full-time. Basta just make sure na if you are going to work part-time, that would be 20 to 25 working hours per week. And may note dito na some programs and level of studies have different or no work conditions. So always check, of course. Just to make sure, always check your e-visa with you. Nandun naman kung sasabihin naman dun sa visa mo kung eligible ka ba to work full-time or just only this much hours per week. Okay, dokes. And then, next one. After you graduate, it depends on your course level kung ano yung perks na ibibigay, kung ano yung visa na pwedeng ibigay sa'yo, like after schooling. It can be, dahil master's graduate ako, I'm under post-study work visa. So, I can work up until 3 years na open work rights for people or for those who graduated bachelor's degree, master's, and doctoral degree. So, that's the perks of finishing those degrees. But eto, I'm not an immigration advisor again, kaya may disclaimer ako diyan na nagfa-flash na hinaluan ko 'tong personal experience ko rin. I just also found out na meron palang parating na changes na pagdating ng November 2026, there will be short-term graduate work visa for those who studied certificate or diploma program. So if you studied certificate or diploma program, you have 6 months of open work rights. Yan. These type of work visas, ito yung work visas na you can work to any employer in New Zealand. So, 'di ba? Kaya naintindihan ko yung iba gusto mag-aral kasi they also wanted to try also working in a foreign country. And okay, this is the common application mistakes of those people who are aspiring to apply or who are planning to apply. First of all is copy paste reason for studying answer. Ayan, straightforward, generic reason that doesn't, take note of that, doesn't reflect your actual background gets flagged. Kaya sinabi ko early in this video na if you're ever going to choose a course, make sure na yung pipiliin yung course is um kung halimbawa kasi master's degree graduate ako. So, pipiliin yung course is something na related either sa bachelor's degree ninyo or related sa relevant working experience nyo through the years. Mas ano yun, mas hindi questionable yun. And then next is ignoring course level implication. Yan. Not realizing yung course level mo affects family work rights and post-study options. So, it only means na if you're going to bring your, let's say, partner or dependents with you, just make sure you have the right course level for you to do that. Let's say, for example, sa certificate or diploma program, I think pwede mong, alam ko partner mo lang yung pwede mong madala if I'm not mistaken. Partner mo lang yung pwede mong madala. And kung ano yung eligibility, kung ano yung work rights, kung ano yung visa expiration mo, ganun din sa kanya. Ganun din naman actually sa post-study work visa. Actually, ang maganda kasi sa post-study work visa, mapapansin niyo 'di ba, 'pag the longer you studied, like let's say 2 to 3 years kayo nag-aral, mas mahaba yung work visa na binibigay sa inyo. So, 'yan, just make sure na kung ano yung course level niyo, meron ding corresponding na, let's say na, what to call this, na rights din yung kasama niyong partner or mga dependents. So again, I'm just gonna emphasize post-study work visa kasi yun naman yung alam ko, yun din yung meron ako. For post-study work visa kasi, ang maganda din kunwari 'pag bachelor's or master's degree holder ka, you get to bring with you your partner and your dependents. Wala, actually end yun, and your dependents. Basta you can just support them as well. I mean, you can also show that you can support them financially. And yun ang perks 'pag nag-aral ka ng bachelor's, master's, or doctoral, madadala mo naman sila. Anyway, next na, incomplete fund evidence. Ito naman ang isa sa mga reason kung bakit nagde-decline ang immigration New Zealand kasi alam mo yun, complicated yung, ayun nga, missing yung source nung, funds mo or kulang, 'di ba? Kaya lagi ko nama sinabi ko rin 'to sa previous video ko yung show money. Um, just make sure that you have 6 months of your show money in your bank account ready. Hindi siya yung 6 months mo siyang bubunuin. Let's say for example, kasi solo student ako, my show money, I mean, is 700,000. Yung 700,000 in peso, it should be intact 6 months I mean, staying in my bank account for 6 months. Hindi siya yung, I'm just going to, parang bubunuin mo pa siya. I mean, bubunuin mo pa siya monthly for you to reach the 700,000 for 6 months. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean, the 700,000 or more, I mean, it should be in your bank account for 6 months or more para hindi siya questionable to the New Zealand immigration. And then lastly, applying too close to intake dates. And kasi 'di ba may mga intake months yung schools. Let's say yung ano, yung kung kailan ka papasok, yun yung ibig sabihin ng intake. Let's say for example ako, ang intake ko no'n last year, that's March, but I started applying ng, January, 'di ba? January first week or second week ako nag-apply. Para meron lang akong allowance sa kung anong puwedeng maging, decision ni New Zealand Immigration. So, kung halimbawa kung March ang intake ko dapat hindi ako mag-a-apply ng February, that's too close, 'di ba? Hindi naman din mag-a-adjust si New Zealand Immigration sa intake mo, so it's you. Kaya it says it leaves no room to fix the issues if there will be, hopefully not. And if may kailangan sa'yong documents, if magkaroon ng any problem or difficulty. And then this one, I'm promoting WISE, of course. If you're going to be in New Zealand, or actually overseas, you have to, what do you call this? You have to have this WISE because you will see real exchange rate with no hidden fees kasi makikita mo na yung um, charges if ever you will do transfers. And of course, this is what I liked about it. Transfers you can track. This WISE is very useful kahit na nasa Philippines ka pa kasi kung let's say magbabayad ka sa mga education agency na ha-hire mo, of course they're selling they are I mean they're asking selling they're asking for New Zealand dollars. So it's easier na from Philippine peso, let's say from your bank account, which is Philippine peso, and then you just have to transfer it to WISE to Philippine peso as well and then convert it to New Zealand dollars. And hindi lang naman siya dun nagtatapos sa pambayad mo sa mga agent na i-hire mo o hindi nung nagsa-start din ako sa New Zealand, yun din yung ginamit ko na, pangbayad sa grocery stores 'cause you could just, tap it. Hindi mo na kung halimbawa hindi ka nakapagdala that much show money, this is the best. And this one, I'm just sharing with you that if gusto mo ba ng, one-on-one coaching and what you'll actually get from this one-on-one coaching, you will know the honest, real side of things when you're moving to New Zealand na hindi mo nakikita sa social media. It's because it's all based on my personal experience and it will be very personalized based on your, we're going to look at your budget, your finances, your work experience, and your long-term plans. And just have to email me, hellofaithdioses@gmail.com. Just have to email me so that we can schedule a call whenever you're available. And we're done. Thank you so much for watching up until the end. And I hope you learned something from this. Bear with me if nagtataglish ako because I'm just targeting Filipino audience. And if you have any questions from this video, just have to to put it in the comment section so that I can answer your questions whenever I can. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!